Excel 2016, Module 2, pages 107 through 112. On page 107, they are introducing conditional formatting to you. The conditional formatting we're going to do in this chapter is fairly simple. However, it gets more and more complex as the course goes on. So this is your chance to get a good, solid understanding of it. So you need to make sure that you read all about conditional formatting on page 107 before you go on and actually do the work. All right, to highlight negative values in red. Step number 1. In the sales report worksheet, select the range E6 to F12 and E16 to F22. All right, so go back up the top, and I need E6 to F12. Here's E, here's 6, here's F, and here's 12. And I also need to use my control key and get E16 through F22. Okay, we have both those ranges selected. You know what I'm going to say. If you missed it, just try again. And when you have it, flip over to the next page. On the ribbon, click your Home tab if you're not already there. In the Styles group, click the Conditional Formatting button and then point to Highlight Cells Rules. Okay, so Home tab, Styles group, Conditional Formatting, point to Highlight Cells Rule. You see that little pointing arrow right there that tells you a cascading menu is going to come out. Here's our cascading menu over here. And we're going to click on Less Than. That's going to open up this nice little dialog box for us. And so what we want to do is we want to make this value right here, format cells that are less than 0. So type a 0. And when you did that, you would have seen the formatting already start to show up down here in your preview. And so we're going to go 0, format it with light red fill with dark red text. Go ahead and hit OK. And you'll see that that's exactly what happened. Go ahead and deselect so that you can see that your negative numbers show up with a light red fill and dark red text. There's a couple little paragraphs to read right there. Make sure you read them. To view the impact of changing values on conditional formatting, click cell C12 to select it. Here's C, here's 12. You can always just type it into your name box. Type 215,100 as the new value and then press your Enter key. And what's going to happen is it's going to alter our conditional formatting. Okay, so we're going to go with 215. Okay, and you can see the changes happen down here. Look at page 109, and there's an exact explanation of what you just did. It's not enough to click the buttons. You need to understand the changes that are taking place. All right, read about highlighting cells with a top and bottom rule, because this time we're going to be doing some things with the quick analysis tool. At the bottom of page 109, to use a top-bottom rule to highlight stores with the highest average sales, select the range C27 through N46. So here's C, here's 27, and there's N down to 46. So C27 through N46. Click the Quick Analysis button. So, sometimes it doesn't come up. The Quick Analysis button doesn't come up. Just try the selection again. And one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to kick my view down a little bit smaller, a little bit more, because I want to be able to see this whole thing. So I am going to go C27 through N46, and then there it comes. Do you see it right there? So if you didn't get it, just zoom down a little bit so you can see the whole thing. And then you're going to get your Quick Analysis button, which you click on it. And then we only want you to touch the top 10%. Don't click on it. Okay? Now, do you see your live preview and what happens? Your top 10% just turned red. But Carol doesn't like that because red indicates a negative number in business, and these are not negative numbers. So guess what? We're not going to use that Quick Analysis tool because we don't like that formatting. So go ahead and press your Escape key to make that go away, but yet it maintains your selection. Now, if you accidentally clicked on that and you did it and you took the conditional formatting, no big deal. Just reach up and hit your Undo button. Okay, and you'll be fine. All right, now Let's go to step 4 on page 110. On the Home tab in the Styles group, click the Conditional Formatting button and then point to Top-Bottom Rules. Okay? So we're on our Home tab and we go to our Styles group, Conditional Formatting, Top-Bottom Rules. Okay? We're going to click the top 10%. That's not the top 10 items, it's the top 10%, so make sure you get that one correct. Which is going to open up our top 10% dialog box. Now, you see this right here? It says with, so they're going to refer to this as the with arrow box. It's really weird, but it's this right here. You hit the down pointing arrow, and we want green fill with dark green text, which is right there. Okay? Go ahead and click OK. And because we've already zoomed this way down, it's telling you to zoom, but I already zoomed mine out. Make it smaller so that you can see the whole thing all at once. And you can see, if you deselect, you can see where all the green went into your top 10%. So pretty cool, not too hard. All right, go ahead and read page 111 about other conditional formatting options and creating a conditional format legend because, okay, so we highlighted a bunch of stuff in green. That's awesome. But the next person who comes along, because we just won the lottery and we're long gone living on an island someplace, they're not going to know what this means. So let's go ahead and zoom this back up so we can see a little bit better. And then let's flip to page 112. And we're going to go to cell M25, cell M25. Enter this text, top 10% in sales. Okay. Now, click back. I hit your Enter key or your Tab key. Then click back on cell M25. Check it. Make sure you didn't make any typos. On the Home tab, click the Align Right button to right-align the cell contents of the selected cell. All right, so we're going to come up here, and we're going to align right. Okay, and again, that's on your Home tab in your alignment group. And there's Align Right. In cell N25, which is right there, type green to identify the conditional formatting color you use to highlight the values in the top 10%. All right, so we're going to type green. And we're going to go back. You'll see I hit an extra key, and I'm going to clean it out. Okay, now I'm going to click back on that cell again in 25 that says green. And on this one, we want to center it. Okay, so we're just going to pop right up here. Center align it. Pretty easy so far. All right, you'll use a highlighting rule to format cell N25 using a dark green text on a green fill. So we're still on cell N25. On the Home tab in the Styles group, click the Conditional Formatting button and point to Highlight Cell Rules. Okay, so going back to Conditional Formatting, Highlight Cell Rules, and then click Text That Contains. Okay, so we're going to zip right over here to Text That Contains and click it. And you'll see that because we're in a cell that says green, it pops up with the word green right there already in it, which is pretty handy. In the right box, click Green Fill with Dark Green Text. So right here, this down pointing arrow, and we want Green Fill with Dark Green Text. Go ahead and click OK. And deselect. Now you did this to make sure it had the exact same formatting that we actually have right down here, right? Because our top 10% is a green fill with dark green text. So this legend now shows top 10 sales looks like this. And that's why we did it this way and we didn't do a fill color and a font color, because we want to make sure it matches exactly to this conditional formatting. All right, go ahead and hit save and you're ready to move on to your next video.